Hey everyone, it's Rihanna and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be reviewing Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is the newest film directed by David Yates and written for screen by J.K. Rowling. And it's also based off the book by her. It is in the Harry Potter universe, in the Harry Potter franchise. But this is actually a prequel film which takes place in 1926. New York. We follow the character of Newt Scamander, who is played in the film by Eddie Redmayne, a zoologist of all mythical creatures who comes from England to New York with a suitcase full of magical creatures. And through unforeseen events and craziness, these creatures manage to escape the suitcase and run riot on New York City, who are also suffering a muggle, or they like to call it non-mage versus wizard crisis. They're trying to keep the magical world a secret from the humans, although that isn't working very well. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them tells a lot of different stories in one film, and to begin with, the plot to me did seem a little bit muddled. We follow Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne, who I think is perfect in the role. He is so excitable all the time, and he just really loves these creatures. He's passionate and he's intelligent, but he's also an awkward mess. Eddie Redmayne fits that perfectly. He's a very interesting character. He has a lot of background, but it's not very explored in this film. He's a very likeable character, but other plot lines in the film kept my attention more than that of him and his fantastic beasts. His chemistry with Jacob Kowalski, who is just a nomad that happens to come across him in a bank one day, them coming together and their chemistry is just really great. We also have the character of Tina Goldstein, who's played by Katherine Waterston in the film, who is an ex-Auror who has been relieved of her job duties and now works in the New York Ministry, just doing menial jobs, and she is trying to impress the Madam President of the New York wizarding community to get her job back. And when Tina comes across Newt Scamander and his suitcase full of magical creatures, she thinks she can win her trust back. Now, I think Katherine Waterston is a very underrated actress. She's very up and coming. It's nice to see her in a big budget blockbuster film, but her character Tina Goldstein to me could have been a little bit stronger. We do see her vulnerable side and we see her intelligent side. You can see that she's very committed to her job as an Auror. But to me, compared to the other female characters that J.K. Rowling has written in the past, such as Hermione Granger, Bellatrix Lestrange, Molly Weasley even, I think Tina Goldstein was a little bit weak to me. I can't wait to see her in more installments if she's going to be in the future Fantastic Beasts films, but as an introduction, I wasn't incredibly impressed with Tina Goldstein as a character. Same goes for her sister Queenie Goldstein, who is really cool because she can read minds, but she wasn't the strongest female character in this film. As I said, we follow several different storylines in Fantastic Beasts. Other than Newt Scamander, we follow the storyline of Credence, who is played by Ezra Miller in the film. He's adopted into a family whose mother is just the worst human possibly imaginable. She is a second Salem preacher, she hates wizardry, she hates witches, and she's trying to wipe them out of New York. She does horrible things to Credence, and Ezra Miller does a really good job with what is given in the character. He has a very interesting background, but it is very spoilery to talk about, so I'm gonna leave that to your imagination. But Ezra Miller just gets a lot of weird characters when being cast in films. We also follow the wizarding crisis in New York between the no-mages and the wizarding community. We follow Madam President and also the character of Percival Graves, who is played by Colin Farrell in the film. Percival Graves is trying to identify what beast is attacking New York. There have been sudden attacks by this invisible creature that are destroying entire homes, and that is causing conflict between the wizarding community and the human community, and we don't want that to happen because it will be all-out war. And there are a lot of cool Easter eggs and references back from the Harry Potter franchise in this film, and it's really interesting to see them build up the wizarding world from what was pre-Harry Potter. Something that Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them does really well is it manages to stay incredibly magical, if not more magical than the original Harry Potter films, but also be very different from the previous 8 films. This is a new franchise after all. It should be different, and I was expecting it to be different. If you go into this film with open eyes, not expecting to see Harry Potter like 9, then you will really enjoy this new look of the wizarding world. The world building is incredible. It does a lot more exploring of the wizarding world when it comes to the creatures and when it comes to the background of wizarding and how the whole conflict of humans and wizards started. And just the history of magic is really interesting to watch in this film, and I loved diving right in. Now, for the most part, I really enjoyed Fantastic Beasts. I love the scenes with the creatures. That was incredibly entertaining and just really fun to watch. And I love exploring more of the creatures in the wizarding world. It was so great to see the creature design, which was phenomenal, by the way. It's so creative and just fits the world perfectly. And I love the other side with Credence and Percival Graves. That was super dark, but when the two are mixed together, there are a lot of tonal shifts between extremely fun and extremely depressing and sad and dark. The first 2/3 of the film feel very jumbled up when it comes to what story we're supposed to be following and if the two stories are related, and if so, how. In the third act, they do a really good job of tying things up, which thank God they did, because otherwise I'd be incredibly confused. But for the first two acts, you're watching and you're sort of like, I don't know where this is going, and that was a big problem for me, these storylines being muddled. I've heard people say that Eddie Redmayne kind of mumbled his way through this film, and I don't know whether it's a British thing, but I could perfectly understand Eddie Redmayne in this film. Maybe me and him are like psychologically connected or something? I don't know. Maybe it's a British thing. Probably. I guess the only issues I had with his character and characters in general is that they weren't more developed in this film, and it is a starter film and it is a strong start, and there will be sequels afterwards, but I would have liked it if they would have just got a lot more character development and background in this one singular film without them thinking it's fine, we're gonna have multiple films after this. Speaking of which, they don't actually set up a lot for the next couple of Fantastic Beasts films. It is very open-ended on what's going to happen. You do know some things from this film are going to be talked about in the next films, but these stories could go anywhere at this point, and I really like that. I like that there's no sort of like, yes, we know you're going to have a sequel ending to this film. This is a film about magic, and a lot of the time the threat doesn't feel very real. Because of the wizardry, because of the magic, everything can be fixed in an instant. So easy resolution in this film was a big problem for me. The threat really didn't feel exactly truly real in this film until the very end, when there's a big reveal, but spoilers, so shh. And for me, this film just kind of kept going on and on and on. It was a very long watch, in my opinion. You got to the end of the film and then you have another clip and then you have another clip, and you just kind of wish it would end a little bit because it has gone on for such a long time. To me, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was a very strong start to a franchise. Did a lot of great world building, introduced us to some new fun characters. It has entertaining scenes, it has dark, intriguing scenes, but there is a lot muddled up in there. But I really like where this franchise is heading. If you're a massive fan of Harry Potter and just Eddie Redmayne in general, because he is wonderful in this film, definitely head out and see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. If you are a fan of action, adventure and fantasy, go out and see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. If not, maybe just wait for the DVD release on this one. I really enjoyed myself and I would definitely see this film again, but I think if you're not very into Harry Potter and the whole genre of Harry Potter and fantasy, you're probably not going to enjoy this one and maybe a little bit confused. Overall, I'm going to be giving Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them a win. Really enjoyed this one. Some fun sequences, some dark sequences. I cannot wait to see more. So if you guys have seen Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, let me know what you thought of it down below in the comments, and which of the Harry Potter films is your favourite. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like it if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing lots more TV reviews and movie reviews to you guys very soon. As usual, all my social media links are down below in the description if you want to come follow me, and thank you guys so much for watching. That is all I have for you today. Bye!